guys, you should learn dancing from one of my guys.
If you find a team at corporate office that orders samosas and snacks 4 times a week, that's my team. You want to get in touch with them.
At DC, we try and make it fun.
I think DC is a great place to work.
My name is Amar Krishnamurthy. I head operations at DesignCafe. So essentially, my function and our team's job is to convert whatever's on paper, all the designs on paper, to the physical world. All the drawings that the designers give, it just remains on paper till it comes to us, and then we do planning, procurement, sourcing, production, installation. A lot of work happens on the ground before it is handed over to the customer. That is our role.
Hi everyone, I'm Swati Santani. I'm a Senior VP Product and Category Team at DesignCafe. Essentially, in short, what we do is enable what the sales and design teams sell in the forefront.
Hi, I'm Anup Krishnan. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at DesignCafe. My responsibility is to manage the entire sales and revenue at DesignCafe. I have a team of sales and designers and also look at additional responsibility of new store opening and customer experience. So yeah, that's me.
Hi, my name is Namit Daruka. I'm VP of Product and I'm responsible for entire product in the sense that how website, how this internal tools, all the structure and all.
Myself Harish, I am Finance Controller in DesignCafe. My roles and responsibilities include handling the finance team, which has different departments like accounts payable, accounts receivable, taxation, book closure and MIS departments, along with the investor relations.
So I came back from the US, did my education over there, and my first startup was a grocery startup. It was one of the first online grocery stores in the country, and ran it for a long time. It was completely bootstrapped, and then exited Town Essential, and I've been with Geeta and Shezaan from day one of the new avatar of DesignCafe, and initially I was working part-time in DesignCafe, and then I took on the operations as the head of operations for them.
I'm a qualified designer. I started my undergraduation in interior design, post-graduation in furniture design, and the first job that I took up was a sales front role, where I was literally selling furniture. And initially I thought, I was like, what am I doing? I'm really not designing, am I? But that gave me a head start into looking at how business scales, and this is where I am today. Be it process design, product design, everything is done with the intent of how a business scales, and that's what got me to DesignCafe finally.
So I'm an engineer who started off in the software industry, was a developer, then decided that is not my kettle of fish, and then wanted to move into management. Started off on the consulting side, and then realized that I wanted to be part of a company solving problems rather than be a problem solver from the outside. Joined the e-commerce boom at Flipkart in 2013. And then ever since I've been enamored by the whole startup culture, and I've been with startups ever since. I've been with DC since 2019, and I've helmed various roles here before moving into the current role of CEO.
So I've started my career as a software engineer, but I was always curious to know why I'm developing a particular thing, correct? So that led me into product development, because product development, you come to know that why you are developing something, why you're doing something, which is not possible when you are a software engineer, because software engineer is more about execution and product is more about strategizing. So that led me from being a software engineer to a product manager.
I'm a chartered accountant with 11 years of post-qualification experience. I worked in startups like Ola, Shadowfax and Brick and Bolt.
My function is structured, there is first mile and last mile. First mile is all the sub-functions that essentially happen centrally, like procurement, production, all that happens centrally. Quality checks, planning, all that happens centrally. And then the last mile, which happens on the site. This includes all the renovation that happens on the site, the small renovations that we do, installation of the modular furniture in the site itself. All that is the last mile. Broadly, these are the two ways in which the department is divided. Further from there, then you go into more sub-functions where you have procurement, quality, production, installation, and other site services such as fall sealing, painting, and things like that. That's how it's structured.
So in this team, product and category, we essentially look at a whole bunch of be it market research, product development, and ensure that we stay ahead of the competition, right? Because ultimately what we want to offer in the best home interior solutions company to our customers is great designer homes. So essentially this team, it does exactly that, find you the best and help you sell that to your customers.
Every store in itself is an ecosystem of sales and design teams. So you have a small sales team that goes and books the order, and then the designers who then convert the order into a project and executes them. And all stores put together end up doing the sales and revenue for DesignCafe. In addition, I also have the customer experience team as well as the new store opening team working with me. So that's the broad org structure.
Currently, I have 2 product managers. One handles the DesignCafe and another product manager handles the carpentry.
As a finance team, the sub-departments include accounts payable, accounts receivable, taxation, and book closure and MIS reporting, and even the investor relations.
The function of once the designs come to the last mile, the first mile team, to our operations team, the first thing we do is convert all the designs to what we call a bill of materials. That is done by the cut list team. So what they do is they look at the drawings and then they break it down to a cut list. Part of it happens in the software, part of it happens manually, and they basically create a bill of materials and a budget for every project. So this is part of the planning function. Also, there's a detailed plan worked out from start to finish of production by a planning function. So there's the planning function, and then there is a function that does the cut list or the bill of materials. The next step in the process is the function of procurement, where if the material for the project, if it's not already in stock, is procured centrally. This material comes for production, and then in the production, production as a function manages the factory and the entire process of converting raw material to finished goods in the factory itself. So there's a big team that actually produces all the cabinetry in the factory itself. Following which there's a strict QC that happens in the factory. So there's a quality team that does complete quality check of all the products that are produced in the factory itself. So this constitutes the first mile team. After which there is logistics, where the logistics team is responsible to ensure the product is moved from the central factory to the local warehouses and then to the sites itself, wherein the installation happens. The installation as a process constitutes of all the site services teams, which includes project managers, carpenters, then there are project owners, and then there's a site services vendor. All these people together ensure the installation happens on the site with the least number of escalations from customers and with the least number of snags.
2 main verticals, one being the product R&D team. So that's a bunch of designers who look at everything from market research, price analysis, product development, process design, all of that, and even work very closely with the brand marketing and city teams to ensure that the processes are streamlined. The other vertical is the catalog, where they develop the catalog, run it, and they also have a sub-function which is the design support team. So essentially all the queries that the designers have with regards to process, product, pricing, catalog, all of that gets catered to by this function.
Sales manager has a responsibility of engaging with a client, a customer, and understanding the requirements and finally booking the order with DesignCafe. A designer then translates these requirements into the design and passes it on finally to the Siri team or the first and last mile teams to execute and then to manufacture and then execute these projects. The customer experience team is always looking at the well-being of our customer, trying to avoid escalations, and if there are escalations, trying to understand why they are caused and resolve them timely and in an amicable manner. New store opening team is always looking for markets where there is an opportunity for DesignCafe to expand and reaching out to partners in these markets to open new stores.
My department is divided into two categories, one which handles the DesignCafe and another handles the carpentry. For DesignCafe, the team is responsible for the designer dashboard, customer dashboard, the website, and these are three, even the Salesforce and Odoo. And for the carpentry, the team is responsible for the carpentry website, the lead square, which is a CRM which we use to capture the details, and even the integration with the call center and all. That's how my team is divided.
Actually, a lot of the challenges faced by any company is managing the large workforce that has to really convert the drawings to physical products, and that is a very critical role in any company because otherwise everything remains on drawings. So it's our job and function to make this as seamlessly as possible and to ensure that it is done in a way where we have great Google reviews, and even if there are some issues upstream, those should be fixed and resolved and ensure the experience of the customer is great. So if we do our job right, we will create good Google reviews, we get good references from customers, and this will help DesignCafe grow. Also, it's important that when DesignCafe scales, we have to be ready for the scaling of the operations and quickly ensure that any business that comes, we execute seamlessly. So that's how I think we help DesignCafe grow to the next level. We have the largest number of people as a function, so it's very critical that everyone performs and does a great job.
Our team was envisioned as a core central team that doesn't involve in the day-to-day operations of be it business or city, but is set apart from them so that we work constantly on figuring out what we sell, how we sell, to whom we sell, what is the communication around it, right? And we also make it easier for the teams in the front end to sell and process that. That's essentially how we help DesignCafe grow. So if you're able to help you reduce your TAT, if you're able to help you sell better, if you're able to offer products that help you convert better, faster, and focus on the right target segment, that's how we help DesignCafe grow its business.
Heartbeat of DesignCafe. It is at a store that a customer engages with DesignCafe. It is at a store that we explain what we do to the entire world, and therefore the store teams in effect helps, or rather contributes the most to the growth of DesignCafe. And therefore, from a function perspective, I think the sales and design teams are the client-facing functions, and therefore are at the forefront of ensuring that our customers are happy, and therefore we also meet our business objectives.
So product as a department is, is work as a central function. Okay, we are responsible to get the requirement from every department, whether it's a marketing or sales or operation, even to understand the customer needs and build the product based on the requirement, which will help us to solve the customer problem. At the same time, help us to solve the internal issues of the stakeholders, and at the same time to get the revenue for the DesignCafe.
As a support function, finance team need to make sure the reporting requirements along with the day-to-day functioning of other departments. We help out sales team by giving the proper invoices on time and and giving the proper information to respective stakeholders.
Good thing that, it's work in progress, but what we are doing is creating a QR code or a barcode for every part that is there, that is delivered to the customer. And we are setting up a process where everything gets scanned so that it ensures that nothing gets missed and there's traceability for every part. And at any point in time, you'll be able to trace back the product to the raw material and also ensure that there are no mistakes that happen along the way through the whole process. That is one thing that it's work in progress, but once it's fully implemented, it'll make a big difference to everyone, to the customer as well as to all the employees.
Definitely the new material wall, the new signature finish line that actually never existed at DesignCafe. The signature finishes that are now unique to DesignCafe offering. Competition doesn't offer those. But also in the material walls, you will see that this is the crux of what designers offer, right? And the whole experience and the joy of choosing a finish for your home, it plays a huge role in the customer experience. That's definitely, I think, not just me, my team is super proud of it. And they've done a great job in rolling it out. So that's definitely one to call out for. Finishes, yes, catalog finishes play a huge role in that, which is why we decided to launch a signature line. And by that, what we mean is finish a product that is not easily available, that's not seen in the market, but it is so beautiful that it catches your attention and you can personalize it to your home. For any customer who's looking at that one accent piece that stands apart, right? That's what signature line is about. So we've started with a very handful of select finishes that you can offer in categories like kitchen, wardrobes, TV units. And the entire purpose of this line is for it to expand and grow continuously.
I think not just my department, I think across the organization in the last 1 year, there's been we have doubled down on customer experience and we have started putting numbers around it. We are tracking it. We are trying to ensure that more of our customers go through the entire journey with DesignCafe hassle-free and are happy at the end of it, and they have their dream home with them without breaking into a sweat. Right, so that I think has been something to brag about, not just in my team but also the other functions. But we have sort of formed the customer experience team and have put a structure around it and have framed the entire deliverables of that team over the last 1 year or so, which is quite cool and it's quite important. On the another point is that we recently launched our new offering of carpentry kitchens and wardrobes, and our teams have been able to sell even the carpentry value offerings to our customers. So depending on a customer requirement, they are able to straddle between a DC offering or a carpentry offering, so which has grown quite well in our stores, and we have been able to bring in some good projects.
We changed the mindset of the internal organization from the process related to product related, correct? Previously it was like, we were getting the requirements or solution from other department and we were just implementing it, correct? Right now what's happening is that now we are just trying to understand the problem statement from a different department and then come up with our own solution, because sometimes what happens is that when the department gives us the solution, it is very narrow to their area, correct? But for us, because we are responsible for the entire design cafe, which having a different functions, correct? So our solution has to be holistic. So I think this is one of the change which happened, recently, where we, even made people realize that, we are more from the product than the process related.
I'd say compassion, because I realized that a lot of the work done by my team is a lot of hard work. They're in the field, even during COVID, they were working in spite of all the constraints that were there in the market or in the factory. With all their struggles, they completed projects, and that's how it is for our operations. So I need to be very compassionate, and along with being compassionate, I need to ensure that results happen, and that is challenging. So that, I think, is my leadership style.
Pick one word being as coaching, however it comes with a caveat. So coaching and mentoring to me is not telling somebody what they do. How I like to work with my team is essentially help them break down the problem or the thought process or wherever they're struggling, but eventually let them find the end solution to it. So I only enable this with them by the way of conversations, giving them new tools, new frameworks to think around, but not give them the actual solution.
I have a collaborative leadership style. I consult with my team. I try and do one-on-ones with my design and sales teams and all the other teams that are part of the function, understand their problems, which I believe helps me stay rooted to the problem and also understand what our customers want. And I also try and engage with them in a manner where I sort of try to guide them to the direction that the company is taking and what we are thinking in terms of leadership to the direction that the company has to go to. So I would think that I have a collaborative leadership style.
More democratic, because I believe either you convince me or I convince you. Correct. So that's my motto of my leadership style.
My leadership style is to get into the bottom of the things and percolate it till the reporting level.
I think people should be willing to learn. Learnability, people with an attitude to learn and grow is one thing that I look for.
For our team, definitely, if you can deal with gray areas and you can deal with not knowing what you're going to work on tomorrow or even sometimes today, that's a great asset to have in this team, because we literally deal with new things on the fly, sometimes within a day, within a week, a month, a quarter is too long for us. So that's how we work.
All our new hires are aligned with our create values. It's important that he or she is aligned with our values of customer obsession, respect for individual and peers, excellence, the pursuit of continuous excellence, authenticity, trying to be your authentic self at work, trust and honesty, trying to ensure that others can trust you, you trust others and you're honest in your dealings, and empathy, that you are empathetic to your co-worker and you are going out of the way to ensure that you help others if and when required. So that's what I look for most in a new hire.
I look for attitude, correct? Because personally I believe that you can teach anyone anything as long as the person has the right attitude to learn, correct? So for me the foremost thing which I look at when I hire someone is their attitude.
Hustler and the go-getter.
So I love cycling, so you'll find me cycling. It's a new passion for me, so you'll find me cycling all around town.
You might find me at either of these three places, either in a tango dance class or at the gym or in a yoga studio.
Or you'll find me playing with my children. I have two kids. I have a 9-year-old son and a 3-year-old girl. So I like to spend a lot of time with them. They're innocent, they're fun, they're naughty, and time just flies.
Mostly playing or maybe at a ground running. Correct. So that's what I do after work, or when I just want to chill up. That's what I do.
In home.
Okay, guys, you should learn dancing from one of my guys. One of my reports called Yogesh. You should learn dancing from him, and you should learn how to prank from me. Okay, and if you're not a prankster, you don't deserve to live.
If you find a team at corporate office that orders samosas and snacks 4 times a week, that's my team. You want to get in touch with them.
So the people around you, your peers, you might feel that they are very serious, they are not approachable, and they are always thinking about work. But that's not the case. At DC, we try and make it fun. We try and make it very engaging. So I would urge you to reach out to people around you and just get to know them better. We have a really fun team.
I think DC is a great place to work because you have founders who are very accessible, and just have a right attitude to work and you will learn a lot of things.
I already said it, I enjoy pranking people and having fun and surprising people with things. That's about it.
I don't know, funny or not, but this whole thing about being an introvert, extrovert, all of that. I think growing up in school, I was such an introvert that I managed to not have a single conversation with any of the guests who came home, to the effect that my dad actually managed to convince a neighbor that I had a speech impairment. And to the point that this girl turned around and looked at me with a very sympathetic look and said, "Oh, poor child." And that was it. I'm like, okay, I have to change this about myself. And now I can talk endlessly with friends, family, people who I'm comfortable with, to the extent that my nephew has also said, "She talks a lot."
So I like to believe that I read a lot of books, but I think the truth is that I buy a lot more books than I read. So at my home, there are many bookshelves of books that I haven't read. Probably I have a lot more books than that I haven't read than I have. Something that I need to work through and get to pretty soon.
I'm very particular about documentation. Correct. I need a documentation to be done in a certain way. My product manager, sometimes they get pissed with me saying that why you want it in a certain way. Why it cannot be in a different way, correct? So I think that is something, I have this quickness about me.